Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to The Huddle, the Review.com's weekly high school sports show. I'm Executive Editor Rob Toder of the Alliance Review, joined as always by Mike Brown, our sports editor. And Mike, it's week 10 of the high school football season, better known as Rivalry Week.
Right, yeah, we've got, and really this year we've got some great ones. I mean, obviously, Alliance and Marlington are going to play Friday night, Rob, for the Alliance Review's Backyard Brawl Traveling Trophy, and that's always an entertaining. Last year, the team that was favored didn't win the game, so it's that kind of series. And that I look for another one like that. Should be interesting.
The key, I think, for Alliance, avoid turnovers, control that Marlington running game, and we know Alliance can score. The problem they've had all year is keeping teams out of the end zone.
That's right, and they're going to have their hands full with Marlington. You got Garrett Floyd, I think one of the best players in the NBC. In fact, I think he's the best player in the NBC. And Marlington's passing attack, and you've got to guard a lot of weapons for the Dukes there. But then Alliance is coming on. They got a win last week against Minerva, so a lot of times that can build some confidence. So, the game's at Marlington this year, so like I said, it's always unpredictable when those two get together.
So make sure you check out the Alliance Review all week. We'll have previews of the game. We'll also obviously have coverage of the game in Saturday's print edition and on the Review.com, and we'll have video highlights on our YouTube page as well. The other big rivalry game this week for us is Salem and West Branch. A lot riding on this game. If Louisville somehow stumbles against Canton South, the winner of this game would earn a share of the NBC championship. But more importantly, I think, or just as importantly, rather, are the playoff implications. Salem probably in regardless. West Branch definitely needs a win.
Yeah, they do. It's funny. It's like feast or famine for West Branch when you look at their playoff situation, because if they win, there's a very good chance they could end up fourth and host a playoff game next Saturday night. If they lose, they're out. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, they will be out. There's no doubt about that if they lose Friday night. But this is one of the best West Branch-Salem matchups that I can remember in a long, long time, Rob, because they're almost mirror images, because they both have 1,000-yard running backs. They both have 1,000-yard quarterbacks. They've got some nice receivers to throw to, and their defenses are pretty solid. West Branch won 21-7 last year. I was at that game for about 3 quarters before I had to be in the office, but that game was a lot closer than people think, because West Branch had 5 interceptions in that game last year, and Salem was deep into West Branch territory a number of times, so that 21-7 final score is a little deceiving from last year. So, this one may come down to turnovers. I think they're so evenly matched, it may come down to a turnover.
It's going to be a great game. Again, we'll have previews of that game as well, and of course coverage and video highlights as well on our YouTube page. So make sure you check out the review and the Alliance Review.com for all the coverage of that game. Also in the NBC, Minerva and Carrollton, last chance for the Lions to get a victory. That's a big rivalry game as well.
And that is, and I'll tell you what, I don't rule anything out in that game, because that's a rivalry, and that's a fierce rivalry. There's no love lost there. And for Minerva, the ultimate incentive is there. You have one last chance to get a win. And that's a team, I think Minerva has gotten better with the young group as the season's gone on. So you never know in something like that either. Okay.
Looking at the ITCL, Western Reserve with a big win last week. And a win will assure them of an 8-win season this week and a playoff position for the Blue Devils.
Right. It looks pretty good for them. Again, even though Sebring only has 1 win, there's still like 4 computer points there that they need. But I think they're pretty good if they win Friday night, that they're probably going to be in the postseason next week.
Okay, Sebring coming off a tough game against McDonald, as we kind of expected, and it certainly doesn't get any easier against Western Reserve.
Right.
But,
well,
again, the kids have played tough all year.
Yeah, and they've improved, I think. And it was good to see them get that win 2 weeks ago, and I think they've done the best that they can with the younger group and the smaller numbers they've had.
Yeah. Also in the ITCL, United goes to Springfield. United 2-7, and Springfield is 3-6. Now in the Portage Trail Conference, Waterloo kind of can sympathize with how Sebring had to finish their season against McDonald and Western Reserve. Waterloo loses to Mogadore 55-0 last week, and they have to finish the season against Crestwood, who's got a playoff appearance all but sewed up. And Southeast lost to Crestwood last week, 47-14, and they will play host to Garrettsville Garfield on Friday. Let's talk about St. Thomas Aquinas. They probably need a win also to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they're also going to play Warren JFK. That game is at Serpilla Stadium. and it's also for a league championship as well.
Right, and that one may be a situation like we were talking about with West Branch playing Salem. I think they need to beat Warren JFK to get in. If that doesn't happen, I don't think it's probably going to happen. I mean, it would take a lot of other things ahead of them for St. Tom to still get in if they don't win Friday night. And they're playing a quality Warren JFK team that has a great running back. So that's going to be a tall order for them. I mean, you know, they've been up to some big challenges this year, and hopefully they'll be up to that one as well, Ron.
Okay. Again, make sure you check out the Alliance Review and thereview.com for previews of all the games and coverage of all the games as well. For Mike Brown, this is Rob Toder. We'll see you during the first week of the playoffs.